Is anyone there? So just reply me if anybody are here. Hi, sorry for the interruption. Hi, sorry for the interruption. So just these are few practical problems in the YouTube. So that's why I don't feel like coming live in YouTube. So these are the reasons why I made the course in homeschool application. Many are asking, ma'am, do it in YouTube, right? So there are so many practical issues. So that's why I recommend the course for the revision. Okay. Hi. So notes is available in the course. If you purchase Target 95 Plus course, no? So their handwritten notes is available. Okay. Okay, so you see, people are asking, ma'am, I want to join your course, but it's been already 10 days. Which shall, you see, 10 days recordings will be available every day. I'm doing a chapter, right, in a live class. That live class recording is available. You can watch it whenever you want. You have 3 months expiry date. Within 3 months, you can watch the recorded sessions whenever you want. Okay, you can watch it in number of times. Okay, so that's why even now I am recommending you to purchase the course. Okay, so you won't be losing anything. Only thing you lost was the time. That's it. Okay, so if it is okay, one more month is there for the board exam, right? If you want to revise all chapters in a single slot, course is the best one. Okay, so that's why I'm recommending you. Still time is there. If you guys want, you can join the course, not an issue. Okay, fine. So now let me start the chapter Heredity and Evolution. Okay, so we already started and again some technical issues. Okay, so please cooperate with me. Let us do a revision, concentrate on the topic that I tell you. Okay, so I'm done with heredity definition, right? So it is the passing of characters from one generation to another generation is called as heredity. So here the very first question that you can expect is about the Mendel's experiment. Okay, so they'll ask you, why did Mendel selected garden pea plant? Why did Mendel selected garden pea plant? Okay, so this is the first question you can expect, guys. Okay, for 2 marks. So you have to write 3 points here. Point number 1 is garden pea plant is easy to grow, right? And it has very short lifespan. Short lifespan is there for garden pea plant. And most importantly, it will show 7 contrasting characters. 7 contrasting characters, isn't it? So these are the reasons why Mendel selected garden pea plant for studying heredity. And can anyone tell me what is the scientific name for garden pea plant? Tell me, guys. What is the scientific name for garden pea plants? Tell me who will answer. Let me check out who is answering first. Okay. Um, yes. Yes, very good. Let me read out the one who has answered first. Himabindu, Pisum sativum, right? Yes, garden pea plant can also be called as Pisum sativum. So try to remember the name of garden pea plant and also try to remember the 7 the 3 points which tells you why did Mendel selected garden pea plant. Okay, so this is all about the first important question, guys. So now the next question. What is monohybrid cross, and explain. What is monohybrid cross? Okay, so explain with an example. This is direct way of asking. Okay, so what is monohybrid cross? Explain with an example is a direct way of asking, guys, but it can be asked in a indirect way. Okay, see, how do you prove that? How do you prove that some traits are recessive or dominant or recessive? Okay, so this is indirect way of asking monohybrid cross. Okay, got to know? See, here you have to explain the entire experiment. You don't need to write anything in the sentences, guys. So the experiment is there. Now we will take tall plant, dwarf plant, and then F1 generation, later F2 generation. You have to show it in that pattern. So that becomes the answer. Okay, so now let me show it. First you write the definition. So what is a monohybrid cross? So can anyone tell me what is a monohybrid cross? Yes, monohybrid cross is a cross that involves the study of how many contrasting characters? Tell me, how many contrasting characters are we going to study in monohybrid cross? Yes, very good, Hima Bindu. One contrasting character. Okay, so in monohybrid cross we are going to study about only one contrasting characters. One contrasting character. Okay, so hope you all know the process, right? So that process you have to explain. So you have to take tall plant versus dwarf plant. So write the genotype capital T versus small t. So the gametes formed from this plant is capital T, gametes formed from this plant is small t. So in F1 generation you will get capital T, small t, all tall plants, isn't it? All tall plants. Capital T represents the dominant gene, small t represents the recessive gene, isn't it? So this is a heterozygous tall. Say if two alleles are different, we will call it as heterozygous. If alleles are same, we will call it as homozygous, right? So we have taken homozygous tall, homozygous dwarf, and we are getting heterozygous tall in the F1 generation. So now how do you do F2 generation? You will take capital T small t versus capital T small t. So we are selfing, we are bringing self-pollination here. So the gametes formed here are capital T and you have possibility of getting small t. So here also the same gametes you will get. So you have to draw a checkerboard, isn't it? How do you do a checkerboard? Suppose these are the gametes of father, these are the gametes of mother. So father's gametes you write horizontally, capital T small t, and mother's gamete you write vertically, capital T small t. So you just multiplies capital T, here combine it, capital T small t, okay, right, and here capital T small t, small t, small t. So look at here, capital T in the sense tall, this is also tall, this is also tall, and this is dwarf, right? So you are getting 3:1 as the phenotypic ratio and 1:2:1 as the genotypic ratio. So here remembering genotypic ratio and phenotypic ratio is very, very important, guys. Okay, so 3:1 is a phenotypic ratio and 1:2:1 is a genotypic ratio. Okay, so it can be asked for 1 mark or MCQ, whatever may be the pattern. Okay, so this is the answer, guys. So this is how you have to answer. Directly they can ask you what is monohybrid cross, explain with an example, or indirectly they will ask you how do you show that some traits are dominant and some traits are recessive. Okay, so the dominant trait only will get expressed in the first generation, right? So you are getting all tall, right? So dominant trait will always be more expressive. So that one you can prove it with the help of this experiment. And doing checkerboard is very, very important, guys. Okay, fine. So that is all about monohybrid cross. So this is second important question that you should be prepared enough. Now the third question is dihybrid cross. Okay, so third question, what is dihybrid cross? Dihybrid cross, and explain with an example, they may ask you, or there is another way of asking about dihybrid cross. So this way they'll ask you, How are traits independently inherited. Okay, so even for this question also you have to explain the dihybrid cross only. So you have to take two contrasting characters and you have to show how they are passing in F1 generation and how they are flowing in F2 generation with the help of checkerboard. Okay, so fine. So let us take that example. So let me take a plant having round yellow seeds. Round and yellow both are dominant characters, no? So I have written capital R, capital R, capital Y, capital Y. Okay, so when round yellow is crossed with wrinkled green, okay, in F1 generation you will observe capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. Okay, so you will observe all F1 plants are round yellow. Okay, so now in the F2 generation you will do a self pollination, right? So we will take capital R, capital Y, small y, crossed with capital R, capital Y, small y. So here what are the gametes, guys? R, okay, and this you can combine capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. Okay, so the same gametes you will find here also. Okay, so checkerboard you have to do. So how do you do a checkerboard? Let me show a checkerboard here. Capital R, small y, capital R, small y, small r, capital Y, small y. Okay, so the same gametes you will write here also like this, right? So I am not doing the entire checkerboard, just I am helping you out how to do it, that's it. So you will just join. So you will write it as capital R, capital Y, capital Y. Okay, so like that you will go on filling it. So you will be getting 16 varieties, right? 16 possibilities are there. Among the 16 possibilities, 9 varieties are round yellow, isn't it? 9 varieties are round yellow. 3 varieties will be round green, and 3 varieties are wrinkled yellow, right? Wrinkled yellow, and one variety is wrinkled green. So you have one variety wrinkled green. Okay, isn't it? So these are the varieties you have to mention in the answer, and finally you have to talk about the what is that, phenotypic ratio. So tell me guys, what is the phenotypic ratio here? Yes, somebody has answered. Who will tell me what is the phenotypic ratio here? So I am not doing the entire checkerboard. Okay, so you can do it on yourself, right? Just multiplying here and mentioning the varieties is important, and writing a phenotypic ratio is also important. I am helping you out how to present the answer. Okay, yes. So most of you have answered 9:3:3:1. This is the phenotypic ratio. No need of mentioning genotypic ratio, guys. For dihybrid cross, no one will ask you genotypic ratio, whatever may be the board it is. So they'll only ask you the phenotypic ratio. If you know that, that is more than enough. Okay, so this is how you have to present the answer, guys. Okay, so this concept can be asked in two ways. First one is direct way of asking, that is what is dihybrid cross, explain with an example. And second type is, in this form, how are traits independently inherited. So for this question also answer is same, guys. Okay, so actually you no need to write anything in the paragraph way, just present your answer in the form of experiment. Okay, so you will get the full mark, no need to worry for that. Okay, that's it. So this is our third question, third most expected question, guys. So this is very, very important, dihybrid cross. And next thing is sex determination in humans. Okay, so sex determination in humans, right? So this is also important aspect that you need to focus. So they'll ask you, sex of a child is determined by father, how? So that is the most famous question. So I am giving you the fourth important question now. Sex of a child child is determined by father. Determined by father. How? Okay. So this is how the question can be asked. So you can show your answer like this, you know, father, mother, right? And father chromosomes are XY and mother will have a sex chromosomes XX. And one mark question can be asked relating to this sex chromosomes also. Okay, so how sex chromosome of male and female are different, they will ask you. So male will have XY chromosomes and mother will have XX chromosomes, isn't it? So what are the gametes you will get? Father will have a gamete that has X chromosome, or he will have a gamete that has Y chromosome. But mother always has a gamete with only X chromosome. Okay, so father can have a gametes having X chromosome or Y chromosome, or and mother will always have a gamete with X chromosome only. So when you do a checkerboard, what do you get? Father's gametes, I'll write it horizontally. Okay, mother's gamete, I'll write it vertically. So combine XX, XY, XX, right, and XY. Okay, so you have 50% chances are there to get a girl baby and 50% chances are there to get a boy baby, isn't it? So here the sex of a child is determined by a father because, okay, so because look at here, he has options in a gamete, isn't it? So if a gamete containing X chromosome combines with egg, girl child will be born, and if a gamete having Y chromosome combines with egg, you know, boy child would be born. Okay, so this is how sex of a sex of a child is determined by a father. Okay, got to know? So you have to just write one sentence. If a gamete containing X chromosome combines with egg, girl child is born. If a gamete containing Y chromosome combines with egg, you know, boy child is born. This is how father is responsible for a sex of a child. So with that sentence you can end the answer. Okay, that's all. So this is such a easiest concept, isn't it? So that's all, guys. So these are the 4 questions you can expect from a topic heredity. Okay, I repeat once again. First question you have to concentrate is why Mendel selected garden pea plant. Second most important question is monohybrid cross. It can be asked differently also. So third main question was about dihybrid cross. Even that can be asked differently. And fourth question is about sex determination in humans. Okay, fine. And coming to the topic evolution. Okay, so now I am moving to the topic evolution. So the very first question is, what is evolution? Okay, what is evolution? They will ask you. So what is evolution? Can you all tell me? What is evolution? Yes, anybody? Just comment the answer. Evolution definition, how do you mention? Evolution, very important question, can be asked for 1 mark. Okay, evolution is nothing but accumulation of, okay, accumulation of variations over a period of time, is called evolution. Okay, so collection of variations over a period of time is responsible for the formation of new species, right? So that process is called as evolution here. Okay, fine. So here what is important is variation. Here you should also know about the term called variation. Okay, variation is nothing but differences in the characters. Okay, differences in the characters between parents and offsprings, isn't it? Right? So what is the importance of variation? That is another important question, guys. Importance of variation. Okay, so the first point that you have to mention is variation leads to evolution. It leads to evolution. Okay, and the second one is variation helps the species to survive in a better way. Helps the species to survive in a changing environment. Okay, so here two questions I have covered. One is the definition of evolution I have covered. The second one is variation and its importance also I have covered. Okay, so both are actually important questions only. It was asked in the previous papers also, especially the importance of variation. Try to note it down, guys. 2 points. One is variation always leads to evolution. Okay, so many variations if you collect together over a period of time, that's what we mean by evolution. And the another important point is helps the species to survive in a changing environment. Okay, so these are some 1 mark related questions that can be asked. Okay, now the next thing is evidences of evolution. This is the most important question. Evidences of evolution, guys. What are the evidences we have? So you have to mention the 3 evidences. First one is homologous organs. Homologous organs. Okay, and second one is analogous organs. Analogous organs, and third one is fossils. So these are called evidences of evolution. Okay, so evidence, see it's a very famous question. What is evolution and what are the evidences of evolution? So evolution definition you have to write, and also evidences also you have to mention. And not only that, you should know their definitions also, not just mentioning the side headings. You have to elaborate, you have to write their definitions. So can you tell me what are homologous organs here? Okay, homologous, analogous can be asked in different way also. So they'll ask you differentiate between homologous and analogous. That way also question can be asked. Okay, you have to write at least 2 points of differences, guys. Right? Yes? Camera is not perfect, ma'am. That is what the doubt. You just rotate and watch the video. Okay, I'm not able to sit here. So it is like that only. So adjust, just you can tilt your phone and watch it. Yes, okay. So many started answering. Homologous organs are the organs which have same structural origin. Okay, same structure but different function. Okay, so this is the definition of homologous organs. And remember, example is also very important. For limbs of birds, okay, reptiles, right, amphibians, and mammals. Okay, so this is the example for homologous organs. Okay, for limbs of amphibians, that is frog, limbs of reptiles, that is lizard, and limbs of birds and limbs of mammals. All of them have same structural origin. Okay, so their bone structure is entirely same, but the function is different. Okay, so such organs are called as homologous organs. And now coming to analogous organs. Analogous organs is just opposite to this. Okay, analogous in the sense same function, the organs which have same function but different structure. Is called as analogous organs, guys. Okay, see the best examples are wings of birds and bats, wings of insects, wings of birds, wings of butterfly, wings of bat. The purpose of wing is to fly, right? Function is same, but the structures are entirely different. So such organs are called as analogous organs. Okay, and one question for you based on this. So you try to answer here. So I have arms of bird and arms of bat. Are they homologous organs or analogous organs? Okay, So answer to my question. Arms of bird and arms of bat, are they homologous or analogous? So I am checking out the answers here. PKG has answered they are homologous organs, and Aditya is telling they are analogous. Analogous, analogous, analogous. Most of them are like analogous, analogous. Right? See, arms in the sense what? What do you mean by arms? Arms or limbs, are they same or different? Arms in the sense limbs, right? Arms are nothing but limbs only, right? Arms, understand the meaning of the word arms, guys. Arms are nothing but limbs only. Okay, so I'm asking you about limbs of bird and limbs of bat. Homologous or analogous, I'm asking. Look at here, bird, okay, and limbs of bat. So to what category the bat belongs to? Bat, does it belong to bird category or mammal category? What is bat? Is it a mammal or a bird? Yes, I'm asking you about bat. How do you classify bat? Bat you can classify under what? Yes, it is a mammal. Okay, bat is a mammal. Bat is a mammal, right? So here, limbs of bird and limbs of mammal. That's what I'm asking you indirectly. So limbs of bird and limbs of mammals, they are homologous, right? Okay, so you shouldn't get confused, guys. So they are homologous organs. So they are homologous organs. Never ever forget. So this is how you have to work with the question carefully. Okay, so whenever you find that word arms, arms are nothing but limbs. Okay, so when limbs they are asking, so just check down the category. Limbs of bird and bat belongs to a mammal category. So limbs of bird and limbs of mammal both are homologous organs, right? So this way you have to decide the answer. Do not get confused. Okay, fine. So that's all about homologous and analogous organs. So we have discussed the first evidence and the second evidence. So now let us go for the third evidence, that is fossils. Okay, so what are fossils? What are fossils and how do you determine the age of fossils? So this question is the most frequently asked question for SSLC board, guys. Okay, so now let me give you the definition of fossils here. Fossils are preserved traces of dead animals, dead and decayed plants and animals. Okay, majorly animals. So they are called as fossils. And how do you determine the age of fossils? If they ask that question, mention the 2 points. Point number 1, by digging the earth. Okay, by digging earth, right? So the more deeper you dig, the more deeper you find the fossil, more older it is. Okay, so that is what the particular concept, right? The more deeper you dig, the more deeper you find the fossil, more is the age of that particular fossil. Okay, and next one is by carbon 14 dating. By carbon 14 dating, that means in this method they will check the isotopic ratio. Okay, carbon isotopes ratio they will check. Based on that, one can find out the age of a fossil. Okay, so these are the 2 methods you have to mention, guys. Okay, so that's all about evidences of evolution. So 3 evidences you have to explain properly. One is homologous organ, analogous organ and fossil. Their definitions if you write, it is more than enough. Okay, fine. So next important question is speciation and how is speciation caused? That is also the most important topic you have to concentrate. What is speciation? What is speciation and how? How is it caused? How is it caused? Okay, so here you have to tell the definition of speciation. So how do you define speciation? Okay, how do you define speciation? Anybody answer to my question? How do you define speciation? Yes, formation of new species from old species, that's it. Okay, so no need to mug up here. Speciation in the sense formation of new species from old species, okay, is called speciation, right? And how is speciation caused? Mention the points, guys. So the first one is speciation is caused by natural selection. Second one is genetic drift, right? And third reason, gene flow, and fourth one is geographical isolation. Okay, so these are the reasons you have to mention. Okay, see, if it is asked for only 2 marks, if you can just mention the reasons, it is enough. But if it is asked for 3 marks or 4 marks, you have to write at least one sentence for every heading. Okay, so what is the sentence you will write for natural selection? Simple. Nature helps some species to survive better. That's it. Over. Nature helps some species to survive better. Okay, some species will get survival advantage from nature. Okay, so that is how speciation can be caused. And genetic drift, guys, see, it can be asked for 1 mark. Definition itself separately can be asked for 1 mark. Okay, see, genetic drift in the sense losing some number of genes, okay, by chance or by just some accident. By chance in the sense by accident is called genetic drift. Okay, so just by chance or accident losing some species, some genes completely is called as genetic drift. Okay, and coming to gene flow. Gene flow is a topic in which you will study the migration of genes. So when here genes in the sense species only, okay, so migration of genes from one population to another population, okay, is called gene flow. And coming to geographical isolation, you know, environmental factors will affect the genes of organisms. Okay, suppose a big mountain is there. If it is broken, or a river is passing through a mountain, you know, the environment, I mean the nature will get separated. Okay, the species will get separated, the environmental conditions will change, and that's how the mutations can be observed in the DNA, and speciation can be caused. So that is all about geographical isolation. Okay, so that's all about the speciation. So these are the things you have to mention. Remember, majorly 4 words, guys. One is natural selection, genetic drift, gene flow, and geographical isolation. Okay, that's it. So over speciation and how it is caused. This question is over. Next. Difference between acquired traits and inherited traits. Okay, so there is one more question that you need to know here. Difference between acquired traits, okay, and inherited traits. Okay, so how do you define acquired traits? What are acquired traits? Gaining knowledge. Is it an example for acquired trait or inherited trait? Tell me, guys. Gaining knowledge. See, I am a science teacher. I gained this knowledge. Okay. Is this gaining knowledge in a lifetime is inherited trait or acquired trait? Yes, Spurti. Spurti has answered first. Very good. It is an acquired trait. Right? Acquired. Very good. Very good. Okay, so the characters which are developed during lifetime, the traits which are developed during lifetime is called as acquired trait. isn't it? For example, gaining knowledge, building muscle, and all these are acquired traits. And inherited traits, so the traits which are passed through genes, the traits which are passed through genes is called as inherited traits. Okay, so this is one points of difference. See, whenever if a question is asked like differentiate between this and this, then you have to present the answer this way. Okay, if you can present the answer this way, it will look presentable. Okay, you can impress the evaluators. Okay, so one side acquired, one side inherited, separated. Point number 1 you write. So now point number 2, it do not involve genes, do not involve genes. And here what is point number 2, you will write it involves genes, it involves genes. Okay, so next, acquired traits do not lead to evolution, do not lead to evolution. Okay, whereas this inherited trait can lead to evolution, it can lead to evolution. Okay, so 3 points of difference I have given, and later you can write examples here. Like I said, gaining knowledge, building muscle, and here examples you can write eye color, hair color, attached earlobe or detached earlobe. So whatever it is, you can write any examples. Okay, so 4 points of difference I have told you. So always guys, whenever the question is like differentiate between this and that, then your answer should be in this format. Don't write one below the other, first writing inherited traits and then acquired. No, that kind of essay answers you please avoid in the examination, especially in case of science. So make it point wise always. Okay, so that is how you can impress the evaluator guys. Okay, fine. So that's all about this question, the most important. Okay, most important. So have a look at this question. Fine. And next one is sorry sorry next one, tools to study human evolution. So what are the tools to study human evolution? Human evolution. So this is one simple question guys. So if it is asked, it can be asked for 2 marks. Just mention the tools. Excavating in the sense, you know, digging the earth and finding fossils. So that's what we call excavating. It's a research, okay, going from one area to another area. Next is studying fossils, right? And next is studying DNA sequences, studying about DNA sequences. And finally, time dating or carbon 14 dating, anything is fine. Okay, so these are the 4 points you have to mention as it is. No need of writing a points for them, no need of any explanation for them. Okay, they'll just ask you to mention, you just have to mention these words, that's it. Okay, so this is all about human evolution. And here one more question. With this I will end this. Okay, what is artificial evolution? Explain with an example. Okay, so that is another simple question guys. What is artificial evolution? Okay, what is artificial evolution? And explain with an example. Okay, so can anyone tell me what is artificial evolution here? What is artificial evolution here? I'm asking you, how do you define artificial evolution? Yes? Anyone? Artificial evolution is artificial ways of changing DNA, right? Artificial way of changing DNA, okay, to get desired traits. Okay, this is what the definition of artificial evolution. Okay, fine. And now one example they have asked to know. So you must know an example about wild cabbage, guys. So you have wild cabbage. It is a plant with bigger leaves. So from the wild cabbage, man has synthesized cabbage. So cabbage is actually, it's not a natural vegetable. Okay, so it was artificially made vegetable, artificially created vegetable by changing the DNA of wild cabbage. Okay, so cabbage, cauliflower, right? Cauliflower is also you know, the artificial vegetable only. And broccoli and kohlrabi and kale. Okay, so these are the 5 vegetables which are artificially made by changing the DNA of wild cabbage. Clear? See, man wanted to have less spaces between the leaves, so that's why he made cabbage. So in cabbage, what is the character you will observe? Less spaces. So all these can be asked for 1 mark. Less spaces between the leaves is the character you will find in cabbage. Okay, and cauliflower is a sterile flower. Okay, broccoli is a arrested flower, we say. It is arrested flower. And kohlrabi is the one which has got bigger parts. And kale are really a larger leaves. They are really a larger leaves. Okay, so these are the character you will find it in artificially grown vegetables. Okay, so this is all about artificial evolution, guys. Okay, so that's all about heredity and evolution. Concentrate on these concepts and these questions, so that is more than enough actually. Okay, see, I repeat once again, what else we have discussed today? We have discussed why did Mendel selected garden pea plant. Second one is monohybrid cross. It can be asked differently. So whatever the way it is asked, just explain the experiment. Okay. Third one is dihybrid cross. Okay. And fourth one, sex determination in humans. You should have an idea about sex chromosomes of male, female, and also the conceptual questions like how is sex of a child is determined and all that. Okay, next one, evolution definition, variation and importance of variation you have to concentrate. Okay, next is evidences of evolution you should concentrate. Okay, all 3 evidences, their definition and everything is important. And the next question was speciation and how it is caused, that you have to concentrate. So 7 are over. After that, what else we have discussed? Acquired traits and inherited traits we have discussed. Tools for finding human evolution, and the 10th one is this artificial evolution. Okay, so 10 questions, guys, 10 concepts are there total, that's it. So 10 concepts and 10 questions. Revise thoroughly. Definitely you will observe these questions, one or two among these questions in the question paper. Okay, so it can be asked in a different way. Whatever the way of writing answer is same, right? That's all. That's all about heredity and evolution, guys. Okay, so how are you feeling about this revision? So was it helpful for you? Did the concept and important things got revised? And tell me, which chapter do you want next? Yes, for CBSE students, evolution is deleted, right? So only heredity you concentrate, more than enough. Okay, so thank you so much. Which chapter do you want next? People are asking me light. So light, is that okay? Shall we go for the problems of light in the next class? Okay, magnetic effect, human eye and colorful world. Okay, we'll see. Most of them are asking human eye. Human eye and colorful world. Okay, so then we'll go for human eye and colorful world only. Okay, so the next class, and I'll intimate you when I'll be coming live. Okay, I'm not sure. I'll be coming live in the next 3 to 4 days maybe. Okay, fine. So we'll think of, I'll intimate you the chapter that I'll be dealing in the next class, because you people, if you want electricity, if you are like light, and few are like human eye, whatever. So that's all about today's class, guys. So keep learning. Self motivation is very, very important. Okay, so exams are approaching. This is definitely a deciding step, isn't it? So focus towards your studies, focus towards the examination, and be peaceful. No tension, no stress, nothing. Okay, study the concepts the way it has to be studied, revise peacefully, and spend more time for studies. Don't get deviated at this point of time, the most crucial time for you all. Utilize the content that is there in a chapter, and again I am reminding you about target 95 plus course. See, because most people are getting benefit from this, so I wanted to inform you. SSLC, especially for the SSLC students. See, for CBSE your exams are approaching. Even if you take a course now, you can't study everything. For SSLC students, 1 month time is there. You can still take up a course. Live class recordings are available in a course, guys. You can watch them whenever you want. Okay, so that's all. Check out the course in homeschool application. Download homeschool application and go for the courses. You'll see that target 95 plus course. You read the contents, you will get to know what is there in a course. Okay, so that's all about the video, guys. Thank you so much. All the best. Keep learning. God bless you all. Okay, so may you write your exams wonderfully, and may you get wonderful results, each and every student of homeschool. Okay, so all the best. God bless you. So meet you all in the next live class. Thank you so much.